Hello YouTube and fellow Star Wars collectors. Today we'll be taking a look at another vintage collection 2-pack, and this time it's a pair of Ewoks from the animated Ewoks TV series. So if you're a fan of Ewoks like I am, then you're relatively happy with this set. But I will say there's one thing that's kind of funny is, considering it's the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, I think a lot of us were hoping for a different set of Ewoks. I'm pretty sure Yakface had a rumor for a while, that we were getting Ewoks. And I think a lot of people were hoping for Logray and a repack of Lumat, which would have been really cool. I definitely need both of those carded for my collection, and I don't have an open Lumat. So definitely a weird, choice to go with an animated TV series version of Wicket and Kneesa. I will say that I'm actually pretty happy to get Kneesa because she's one that I don't have for my collection. She came in that odd 4-pack or some kind of multi-pack of Ewoks a while ago, and yeah, it's definitely one I wanted for my collection, so happy with that. But I hope that one day they do repack those other 2 Ewoks from Return of the Jedi, because we definitely need those. But with that being said, let's take a closer look at these figures and the packaging. Taking a look at the packaging, here we have our Vintage Collection 2-pack that we're starting to see more often in the line, which is pretty cool in my opinion. We saw it with the Vader vs. Kenobi set, and now we're seeing it for this Ewoks release. And the thing I like about this is we're getting 2 carded figures in there, but usually it's having, tissue paper protecting them, and it's just a nice way to get a decent carded sample in my opinion. But all in all, pretty happy with this. It's got a nice Ewoks logo up top with the Star Wars one as well. It says from the TV series, and then we have a nice illustration of Wicket and Knnesa swinging through the forest moon of Endor on a vine. So pretty cool stuff. The Kenner logo looks really nice down below, and then you have the special decal here that says figures included inside. Got pictures of the cards, and all in all, a pretty nice looking box in my opinion. On the side you have another illustration of Wicket himself, and on the reverse side you have one of Kneesa, so that's pretty nice. And then on the back you have, some imagery from the Ewoks animated series, and you got a little description here as well as a little image of showing you what's coming in this box. You're going to get these 2 figures, collector's coins, and some accessories with them. So all in all, I think this is pretty cool. And yeah, I'm very happy with these 2-packs. They're a nice way to get some more figures in the line and better carded samples. And if you take a look inside, you have 2 figures nicely packed with this cardboard insert, and they are protected with tissue paper so they don't rub against each other. So that's definitely nice to see. And first up, taking a look at Wicket, we have him on his Ewoks card. And I gotta say, this is pretty neat. I wasn't super excited for these, and once you get it out of the box and you just take a look at this, it's a really nice card. It's very similar to what we got for the Droids release, and yeah, it's speaking to me. So pretty cool stuff. Got that Ewoks logo up above. We got the special collector coin, which looks nice, and then we have Wicket on this nice, kind of like salmon-y orange color that just, it really works well with that very vibrant orange hood. So I'm really liking this. And then I really like this image of him just kind of like swinging through the forest moon of Endor. He's got his spear, he's holding on to that vine. And yeah, all in all, a really nice card back in my opinion. And then on the back we have no VC number. So this one's not technically part of the line, but that was similar with the Droids release. And this one's a little different because there's no Vintage Collection logo on this whatsoever. I don't really remember if that was the case with the Droids figures, but I'm okay with it. And then we have another picture of Wicket here on the back and Kneesa and a little description. So all in all, a pretty good looking card back. And this will definitely make a nice addition to your carded collection, and I look forward to putting this one up. And taking a look at Wicket out of the packaging, I will say that he is one very vibrant Ewok. They used a very bright orange color for this little poncho of his, and I gotta say that he looks like he should be working a construction site somewhere on an Imperial base or just directing traffic, because no one's gonna run into him with their speeder or starship. So pretty cool, but I like it. It kind of gives him a little retro look, and it does match, what's seen on the card and kind of like in the show. So all in all, I think that looks fantastic. Taking a closer look at his face, he's got some really nice deco on his eyes and teeth. It's just been done really well. You can also see that he has a little bit on his buckle here, so that's pretty cool. Also, I will point out that he has some really nice silver deco on this little spear. It gives it a nice shine, and just it looks different than the Return of the Jedi version, which is kind of just a gray plastic and kind of like stone-like, but I kind of like this. This looks cool. His side bag is just solid plastic, so nothing really there going on in terms of paint application. And you can see a little bit down here on his toes and stuff, but all in all, I think he looks pretty neat. And yeah, I'm happy to add this one to the collection. And let's take a look at him with like some different, headgear and just see what kind of variants you can make with this figure. Because, I know some people might not want this one displayed in their collection. And I'm already thinking, I've got a couple extra accessories from other Ewoks, so let's see what that looks like on him. So here's one for example. I have an extra headgear thing from the Tebow release, and yeah, just put this on this version of Wicket, and he kind of looks like another random Ewok from the tribe. I'm glad that, he's just like a very simple brown color, so he can definitely blend in if you want to display him like this in your Return of the Jedi shelf. And here's another example you can try where I took the hood from the original Return of the Jedi release of Wicket and put it on this figure. And I gotta say, since that one's like, a more normal, realistic green color, this also is a pretty good option if you want to put this in your Ewok display as somebody else who's just a random Ewok from Endor. And I gotta say, when you bring in Wicket and just like compare them, they definitely look pretty different. It's pretty impressive what they can do with some paint applications, because it's definitely the same head sculpt, and just the way they've applied paint really, makes this guy look a lot different. So another option for you if you're trying to do something different with your display. And here we have Kneesa once again on an Ewoks card back. And I gotta say that this pink, like rosy color just looks fantastic. And then you got the bright pink hood just popping off of it. And all in all, this is just another very nice card. Then you got this really cool image of them. You got her holding some type of water bottle. Wicket's in the background. You got the Kenner logo down below, and just like Ewok huts in the background. Just all in all, a very nice image. So another pretty cool card back. And then on the back, you have the same as Wicket's card back with 2 images of the figures and then a little description. And I will say that it's kind of odd that, they put the same description here where it's talking a little bit about Wicket from the show. Would have been cool if, it was something a little bit more personal about like Kneesa and just like, something about her character. So I don't know if that's like a misprint or something like that, but just something I noticed, and it would have been cool to see a little variety here. So once again, this is a nice looking card, and it's great to get a little bit more variety. Now we have droids and Ewoks cards, so all in all, pretty good release, and I'll be happy to add this one to the collection. Alright, taking a closer look at Kneesa, she has some wonderful sculpting and detail throughout. I really like the paint application that's done on her face. It kind of makes it look like a harsh shadow is falling on her from this hood, which is, pretty nice. Makes her look a little bit more intimidating. I absolutely love this vibrant jade color that's on this little leaf here, and then runs up the stitching all up along her hood. And yeah, there's some wonderful sculpting on this thing as well. You can see all these little stitchings and like just some pretty nice detail. It's also made of a really soft plastic, so you can kind of move it around if you want. It is removable. All you have to do is pop off her head and just take that off, which would also allow you to take off her little side bag. Which if you take a look at this as well, it's got some pretty good sculpting and detail work on there. Just kind of a solid color of plastic. And then you have her other accessory, which is this like rope lasso thing that's got 2 rocks on the end of it, which the rocks have pretty good paint application on them, if I do say so myself. It's also made of a very soft plastic. It doesn't like untie or something like that and giving you an actual rope. So it's just kind of wound up, and then you can slide it back on and tuck it underneath her hood, and it will stay in place. In terms of articulation, Ewoks at this scale unfortunately don't have a ton. She does have a ball joint at the head. She's got ball jointed shoulders, and unfortunately no ball jointed elbows. She does have a swivel at the wrist, and she has ball jointed hips, which don't go super far, but there's still a little bit of movement there. And then she has a hinge kind of at the ankle, and it can also swivel around. So like I said, unfortunately Ewoks at the scale don't have a ton of articulation, but you'll be able to kind of stand her in your dioramas or whatever. But yeah, pretty happy to have her finally added to the collection, and all in all, she's a decent looking figure. And lastly, let's finish up by taking a look at both of the coins that are included with these figures. Here we have Wicket. It's got his name up top, says Ewok Scout, got an image of him on the Forest Moon of Endor doing something. And then on the back, you have the Ewoks logo again, and it has a little description, which is the same one from the back of his card back. And then taking a look at Kneesa's, it's got her name, and it says Ewok Princess, and it's got an image of her also on the Forest Moon of Endor. And then if you take a look at the back of this one, it actually has the Ewoks logo, and it's not the same as Wicket's. It has a little description. So I think maybe, this description was supposed to be on the back of her card back. And maybe it actually is a printing error, but that's something we may never know. But yeah, it does have a little description back here that's personalized for her coin. So you would think that would be on the back of the card back. So very interesting, but cool stuff regardless. I hope you've enjoyed this video and taking a look at the latest vintage collection 2-pack, Kneesa and Wicket from the Ewoks animated cartoon. I'm definitely happy to add more Ewoks to the collection, even though they don't necessarily blend well with my Return of the Jedi Ewoks. Very cool cards, and it's always nice to see more figures added to the line, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It really helps and is always greatly appreciated. Thanks everyone, and may the Force be with you.